So
Good evening, everybody.
hello, thank you, Donna.
And
She's like, I can't hear you.
welcome to Sunday Chat with Jean-Luc and Nick.
Yes, and we are so happy to be here tonight. We have a great topic that we're going to discuss in just a bit, which is cravings and nighttime snacking, and just how to be wise about it and how to stay on track. It's not always easy.
No.
We're not always on track, but you know what? How to either get back on track.
So before we do that, is just a quick announcement so that we can get through the rigmarole of all that stuff. So first thing first is schedule changes for this week.
Yes.
So we are supposed to have a guest on Tuesday. Sue, she had to
Just-
postpone due to some unforeseen circumstances. So we had to delay that. She'll be coming back when she can. So we'll be rescheduling that session in the future.
It'll most likely be on a Tuesday sometime this summer.
Yes.
That.
So we'll be rescheduling that. So what we did is that also Jean-Luc has a work event this week
On Thursday.
So what we've done is we've kind of shifted the schedule a bit. So on Tuesday this week will be our cooking show.
Yes. So we're making the Mexican potato bowls
Yes.
and my queso, my butternut squash queso.
Yes, so we're making that on Tuesday. And on Thursday will be a non-live Zoom chat.
With Nick.
So with me. So on Thursday will be just me and you guys in the Zoom room. It will not be recorded. So if you can't attend live, you will not be able to catch the recording. This will be a closed room chat for those of you who want to come talk to me at first. He might join eventually.
I might eventually join. I can be back by 7:30 to the latest.
But I'll be there. So if you want to come join me to talk about your Kickstart journey, things that you're working on, if you have questions for me, we'll talk about that. Also, I'll talk too. So,
like Nick could sit there in silence.
So it won't be just you guys, it'll be me too.
I don't think it's possible. I don't think Nick can just sit in silence.
The rain has been killing us.
I was gonna show of hands, those of you in Ontario, who is fed up with the rain in Toronto or anywhere in are we just like done? We were so excited because yesterday we had a great opportunity. We went and did a 5 kilometer walk for the Kelly Shire breast cancer walk. It was awesome. We were with Lynn and Nisha and with Carrie, who's here with us tonight, which was so much fun because we got to meet Carrie for the first time in person. We met Nisha and Lynn many a time, so whatever. It's just Lynn and Nisha, just joking. They're fabulous. But we had a great time. They were able to raise $1,000 for the walk, which was great. So there's 25 of us on this amazing walk, and we just made it like in the nick of time and did not get wet.
Yes, it rained. It started pouring right when we finished. So
on the car.
We sat in the car, started pouring. And this morning, we're like, oh, we have massages. Okay, so we're gonna wake up. Our massage therapist comes to our condo.
Yeah.
Yes, we prefer it that way. So our massage started at 9. It's an hour and a half each. So by noon, we're like, we're gonna go for a walk
and then
groceries.
Well, when we dropped Nisha off yesterday, Nick, we drove by a park and we're like, oh, we've never been to this path before.
We'll try a new path.
So I told him this morning, I'm like, why don't we go to the path to do the walk, and then we'll continue on to Farm Boy to get the groceries because they're on the way. Nick's like, I love that idea.
As we're driving there, you see the ominous clouds in the distance, and the second we get near the trail, downpour. And we're like, fine. And this is a sign it's telling us rest, go home, finish your groceries, go home and just relax and work on Kickstart stuff. Exactly. Which is what I did today. We posted some of the events coming up, so we'll talk about that at the end of the show tonight. And something else that we started doing this weekend, we found an old show of ours. It's a French show called Nos Étés.
It's on Netflix now, and in English it's called Our Summers. It's not there's no voiceover, but there is captions on it. So if you want to watch it in English and read the captions, it is a fantastic story. Very French Canadian, like Quebec life. It was amazing, and we're in the middle of it right now. We're on the final season going, well, the next episode.
So we didn't go walk today, but the weather's been affecting us in multiple ways. For me, it's been giving me a migraine. I've had a headache. I still have one right now. It's still like slightly back here. It's not as bad as it was throughout the week, but I still have lingering. The massage helped today to kind of get rid of some of it, but I'm still feeling lingering. But we are going to still try to do some step this week. We're planning tomorrow morning to wake up right now, so we're going to try again. And we understand, like, we're probably for the first little while, we're going to try to get ourselves used to the schedule. And then we're planning because that's this summer. That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
This summer we're not going to have evening classes because in the summer we're going to plan to walk in the evenings and go do outdoor activities because we tend to stay in all winter. We need to change it up.
We need to get out there.
We decided this summer we're going to take the opportunity to go out at night. But now morning classes will be what's left, so we have to get up to do our step classes.
And I'm not saying if, when the summer gets here, it will get here. I promise. We will have some heat and some sun, and we will all enjoy it very, very soon.
So let's jump into tonight's topic: late night cravings, snacking. This was a topic that was brought to us by Stephanie and Michelle. We a lot of us have to deal with this. Snacking is not
who does not struggle. No, who does not struggle with snacking after dinner, or does not struggle with nighttime snacking. One person in this room right now is raving. 2 people. I love that. You know what? What are your secrets?
Yeah.
You tell us, Obi-Wan Kenobis, because it is something that we a majority of us do struggle with.
Yes, we do struggle with that. For sure.
And it's one of those things that, you know what? It doesn't matter what time of the day, even for some of us, snacking is just, I think what ends up happening a lot is it becomes such a habit because it's taught to us as really young children, right? I'm not going to lie. If a child's like acting up a little bit, it's like, oh, give them some crackers. Maybe that'll calm them down.
It's not even just that. Growing up, you're like, oh, we're watching a movie. Oh, let's get some popcorn.
We associate certain things with snacks.
And I think we were all raised that way somewhat in a sense where snacking at night was part of that childhood lifestyle of ours. And I think because we've always done it, it's hard to get rid of that habit sometimes.
And sometimes it is because it's an actual physical hunger, right? Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. Snacking is often associated with a specific time of day or a specific activity that you're already doing. But sometimes it's just because you're hungry and you need to eat something.
And sometimes you just had a bad day.
Yeah, it's emotion.
You had a horrible day at work. You get home, you had your dinner already. You ate something on the way home because, you were too busy. You had a horrible day. So of course, you stopped at the drive-thru on the way home. We've all done it. And then you ate your dinner, and then you're like, oh, I want a bag of chips. And then you look in the cupboard, there's one right there, you grab it, and you just start going away at it. Because you had a bad day. It's an emotional thing. It's comfort, Who doesn't get joy? Who doesn't hear ice cream and think, oh my God, summer days with an ice cream cone, walking around in a nice sun. Who doesn't think of happiness when you think of the word ice cream, right? And I think that's the thing. All of these foods and these snacks are all tied to things that brought us joy as children. So even as adults now, when we want to have joy, when we want to be happier, we take to go back to those things that made us happy as children because we're hoping they'll make the same again. And I'll guarantee you one thing, it's probably one of the only things that still works. As a kid, you remember when you were unhappy or something was going wrong, what did you do? Oh, threw a fit, ran out of the house and just ran around to do whatever you wanted. And then came home, went to school the next day, and that was it. You can't do that with your life now. You can't go to work and say, screw this, walk out, yell, and just come back the next day, everything is fine. A lot of the things that I don't know what you're doing. Okay. I was like,
why can't I stand here?
Just because your arm.
Okay. Like, I can stand here.
You're hitting my stomach. That's why I was like, what are you doing? So what happens is that we lose a lot of those ways of self-regulating ourselves as we get older, right? And so that's one of the things that emotionally we want to have these snacks because we don't have other ways to cope as we did as other methods of coping we had as children are no longer around anymore. The only one that's still around is food.
So what we're going to basically be talking about this evening is we're going to talk about why this happens, how we can snack guilt-free, because I think that's a big part of it too, is we associate with snacking as a bad habit, which then makes us feel guilty about something we're doing. But there's smart snacking as well. And then we're also going to go about how shifting this habit, how we can go about shifting the habit that aren't serving us and changing those habits. So basically late night snacking and cravings are totally normal. I want that just everybody, do not think you're not normal if you crave things late at night. It's a normal thing. If you're alone, it can happen to all of us. You're not alone is what I should say. We all experience it once or twice, or we've experienced it many, many times. But you know what? Sometimes it could be because you didn't eat enough during the day. Did you ever think about that? how many calories are you getting throughout the day? Maybe you're not eating enough protein throughout your day in order to not want to snack at night.
You skip breakfast every day.
Maybe you're stressed or tired. Maybe that's another reason why you're snacking, right? You're stressed or tired. Or you've created a routine around snacking. Have you ever thought of that?
Don't you remember the movies and how you always had to
have popcorn when I went to the movies?
Always, yeah.
Had to have popcorn. It's one of those things that I go to. You can't go sit in a movie theater without popcorn. Just didn't make sense. Or again, as we mentioned, you're seeking that comfort, right? You're seeking comfort. But unfortunately, when you're snacking, the comfort comes with calories, right? Not always, but it does come. Well, everything has calories. I shouldn't say that because every food has calories. But again, understanding why you give that power, right? And why, when you're doing this, it goes even deeper than just that. It's starting to you need to start understanding the patterns that you've created around this whole activity.
And understanding your why gives you the power to start digging a little deeper into your activities and see your own patterns. So we want to do a quick activity with everybody. So we want you guys to get a pen and paper, something you can use to write on.
Or your phone.
Or your phone if you want to use your phone. That works as well. And we're going to break this into two parts. Make sure you're honest with yourself, okay? This does not work. No one's going to see this. We're not asking you to share this. This is your own internal voices that you're going to write down on your paper, and only your own internal eyes will see them. So be honest with yourself. And there's no wrong answers here, okay?
No. So question number one that we want you to answer right now is, what time of night do you usually get cravings?
What time of night do you usually get cravings?
And we can even change that. What time of day do you usually get cravings? Because it might happen more than once throughout the day.
So we'll let you guys, I wrote the question down in chat. So think about that one. We'll give you the times to answer it on your sheet of paper. Question number two, what am I usually doing at that time? So when I get that craving, what am I doing? Write that down.
Am I watching TV? Am I scrolling on my phone?
Am I on a treadmill?
Am I stressing? I like that. That's good. Am I outside walking?
And then the third question
is, what do you usually reach for when those cravings hit? What is your go-to craving snack?
And you can be honest in terms of,
definitely,
right now I'm on a weight loss journey, so I'm going to go for carrots. Or you can be honest where most of the time I go for this. So you can go either way. It's up to you. Be honest with yourself, right? Okay, so is everybody good with that? Okay, you got a show of hands. Everybody's good with those? Okay, so we'll move on to part two.
So we want you to all take a breath and flip the paper around now. Flip it over or turn to another page. Now we want you to think about this, okay? Here's a few more questions that we want you to answer for yourselves. What snack could I prepare ahead of time that satisfies me and supports my goals? What is something you can do to always be prepared? You're all Girl Guides and Boy Scouts now. Be prepared, right? That's the isn't that there?
Is it cutting up carrots and celery and having hummus?
Mm-hmm.
Is it, taking a bag of chips or a Pringles jar and splitting it up into small containers so those are already counted out for you? So when you're ready for the snack, just grab a container. Yeah. And that might sound silly, but it's not silly because it's that whole. Sometimes we open something, we want to finish the entire thing. Yeah. Right? We have that symptom, a lot of us. So if you put it all in individual containers, the cats are killing each other.
They're going crazy over here.
If you're craving something and you grab that container, you'll be less likely to go for a second container because you've already finished the one.
So the next question we have for you is, what non-food activity could help you unwind instead? Instead of grabbing for the snack, what could you do in place of going for the snack? Stretching, journaling, taking a bath or a shower, grabbing a cup of warm tea,
Sorry, I had to wake up. I had to break up WWC, World Wildlife Cat Federation.
Drinking water.
Oh, yeah. There's something that you should all be doing when we do this. Mmm. Delicious water. Hydration.
And then the third question that we want you to answer for yourself, and this is actually kind of maybe creating yourself a little like a mantra or some type of saying. So what is one sentence that you can tell yourself in that moment, or you could say to yourself, and I would recommend saying it out loud, not saying it in your head. Saying it out loud. For example, is I'm not hungry. I'm tired. I deserve rest, not regret.
And we have a few mnemonic devices that we'll share with you guys tonight.
You've probably heard them before, but we're going to tell them to you again.
So if you want some ideas of things you can remember, this is two of them.
First one is hope. Who goes there? HALT. Are you hungry? Are you... I can't remember. Angry? Are you lonely? Or are you tired? So just simply saying that word as soon as you feel like you're going to go for a snack, it'll ask you'll start at least help you identify where this craving or this snack moment comes into play.
Could have had a V8.
Could have had a V8. So halt. Something as easy as that. Create something for yourself similar to that. It could be very helpful for you.
So the next one is called the 5 Ds to delay snacking.
So 5 Ds as in David.
5 Ds, okay? So the first one is delay.
Delay. So what do you do to delay your snacks?
So, I'll put a timer on my watch. I'll put the timer for 15 minutes. And then if after 15 minutes it goes off, I'm still hungry, I'll think about it then.
I'll go to step number 2.
I'll go to step number 2, or I'll think about it again then. I'll re-ask the question again at that point.
So what would step number 2 be then?
Then the second step would be distract.
Ooh, so again, going to do something else.
So after 15 minutes, the timer goes off. Like, I'm still not sure if I'm hungry. You know what? I'm going to go fold some laundry.
Ooh, love that idea. Or I'm going to go read my book.
Instead of sitting on the couch, where I'm triggered to snack, I'm going to go fold laundry because I don't usually snack when I fold laundry. I don't want to get cheesy dust on my clothes, right?
Right?
So I'm going to go do that instead.
I like how Mindy is like agreeing, going, yeah, totally.
You don't want any dust on you. Your clothes are clean,
yeah,
right?
Your clothes are clean.
So it's like, hey, everybody, if you want a snack, fold your laundry at night.
So every night, throw all your clothes on your bed
and just
from your drawers, and then when it's snack time, go to your bedroom and refold. Can you imagine how clean your drawers would be all the time?
Just refold everything.
So if distraction doesn't work, what do? Take a few deep breaths.
I was like, what did you write there? Beep, beep, beep,
beep. Deep breaths. So do some deep breathing. Those breathing techniques that we've been doing, we've done a few with a few people have actually showed us some breathing techniques.
Yes. You can go watch Danielle's session from not last Tuesday, the Tuesday before. One of the Tuesdays that happened, right? At least last little while.
Nick still thinks we're in week 3.
I know.
He's telling everybody we're in week 3. I'm like, we're now going into week 5.
That's because I'm all over the place. I'm working on day 62, 93, 112, and it's stats of day 25. I'm so confused.
But did you notice that the distract and the deep breath actually kind of could go hand in hand? Because Nick just made a suggestion. Go watch something that actually teaches you how to do deep breathing. There's a whole bunch of techniques you can find on YouTube. Yeah. So you're doing both simultaneously, which is fantastic, right?
Did we already do the next one?
The next one? No, I don't know. Did we do it yet? Does anybody know what the next one is?
Someone on TikTok said so. She said, they said, they're not really hungry. They just want some water.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the 4th D.
Drink water.
Drink water. Sometimes we're not actually hungry when we're going through these moments. How they sometimes tell you, when you're done eating, first of all, you should eat slowly. I cannot eat slowly. Believe me, I always finish the plate first. And every meal we go to, I always tell people start because I'll sit down 10 minutes later and I'll still be done before you.
He will.
And it's true. Like I've tried slowing it down. I know I devour. And so if you are a person like me,
I'm telling you, it's 2 hinges here. It just runs right up and falls.
You guys remember that toothbrush commercial?
Yes.
Where they would open it and
it was, oh my God, Oprah Challenge.
Yeah,
I totally remember
and they would
that.
brush the mouth that was fully open. Yeah.
and that's totally Nick.
Yeah.
But that is such a good idea. Like this whole idea of drinking water before drinking water is such a great thing to do because it fills your stomach. So you don't feel as hungry. It actually puts something in your stomach, so your stomach might not growl as much if it is growling, right?
Exactly. And then the last one is discuss. So this one is message a friend. We've often told you guys, sometimes messaging a friend or an accountability buddy is not someone that needs to answer.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to vent to someone and say, hey, there's a donut in front of me and I want to have it. And I'm just telling you right now because I don't want to, by telling you, I'm making myself not want to do this. And then the person might write back say, yeah, you're strong. Don't, and that's why we talk to you guys about the sidekick market, having your accountability partners. And that's why we tell you guys when you're struggling with things, discuss it, talk about it on the Facebook group, post that you're struggling so that someone can be there to help you and discuss this with you.
And maybe you did all these 4 things and at the last one, you're like, okay, I had half the donut. I want to talk about it right now.
Or maybe you get to the 5th one and you want to have it anyways.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But look at how long it took you to get there.
And even if you do get there and you do still eat it, you have to be nice to yourself the next day.
Exactly.
Because it's okay.
That moment, actually. Because how many of us, as soon as we're done eating something that we feel bad about eating, which we should never feel bad about it, we go, I can't believe I just did that. Oh my God, I'm terrible. I'm awful. Why did I do that? I ruined everything I just did. So my 40 hours of activity this week do not count anymore because I had that.
And a lot of us, and I'll say it because I've said it to myself before, is why can I stop doing this? I'm so weak. Why do I not have any willpower?
Mm-hmm.
Who said that before? I want to see in chat right now who has said that, because I know I have. I've said it many times. Why can't I stop myself?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I do this? Why am I so unable to do this? Why they can?
Why can they do this and exactly. I can't do it?
And there's nothing wrong with you. You're a human being. We've talked about this multiple times. You're not a robot. Can you imagine? Beep, beep, beep. Nick no longer likes cheese. Beep. There we go. You imagine if it was that easy? You could just program yourself to change that? Oh my God. I need to invent that invention.
And it's not it would be nice, but not even that, because you know what? You're still allowed to like these foods. This is this is the thing. You're still allowed to like the things that might not be the best choices on your journey. You're allowed to like them and you are allowed to have them.
Yeah.
But what we're trying to say is, again, moderation.
Yeah.
And knowing that snacking is not a bad word.
We're both firm believers of not doing all or nothing. So our Kickstarter journey this time is very different. We haven't jumped fully 100% in like we always do.
Especially on the food section.
We've actually slowly changed things this time because we're trying to transform our life this time. We're trying not to be on and off anymore. That's why we're changing Kickstarter to being the full summer. That's why the whole thing is being tweaked a little bit again, because we realize that we can't do this on or off thing anymore. What ends up happening is we get on, we're gung-ho for 2 months, and then we lose weight, and then something happens, and we lose our mojo, and we go right back to the old habits. And we don't want to do that anymore. We want to build something, and snacking is part of building that life. If you are a snacker right now, if you raised your hand and said, I struggle with nighttime snacking, and your plan right now is, I'm never going to snack again. Yeah, you know what? I'm never going to snack again because I know I can do this, but you've never been to before. Maybe you need to sit down and ask these questions we had earlier and say, maybe now, instead of preventing myself from snacking, I'm going to plan for it now.
I need to build it into my journey.
I need to build it into my lifestyle, because I know that one day I want to still snack, and I don't want to go back to those nights that after 2 months of being on a diet, I go home and one night I just buy a bag of chips because I've not learned to snack correctly, because I've stopped snacking completely.
And I also think it's really important to start noticing when you want a snack and you are going on a binge, because that's a very different situation, right? And being able to recognize that is huge, right? Snacking is a snack. It's something to hold you over. It's something to appease that hunger feeling.
I mean, it's not a big bowl.
It's not a huge bowl or the whole bag. It is a snack. It is a portion of something.
I always thought the bag was once per
Well, and who doesn't? Like, we all do, right? There's more air in the bags than there are snacks sometimes. But keeping that in mind. So why are we always associating negativity around these things? So that's where we want you guys to start thinking about your journeys as well.
And that's one of the things, the central pillars of Kickstart, right? We've told you guys from the beginning, we're not going to judge anyone on the choices you take on your wealth.
I don't want to
your
be
wealth,
judged.
Your wealth, your health, your journey, any journey that you're on with us. We won't judge what you're doing because what you want to do with your life is what you want to do. We are just here to help you, support you in what you want to do. So if you want to climb a mountain and that's your goals, then climb a mountain. If your goal is to lose weight because you want to go for surgery, that's your goal, go ahead and do it. If your goal is to walk a 5K, if that's your goal, if your goal is just to be able to not snack as much at night, and that's your goal, that's an amazing goal. So whatever you're working on, we're here to work on it together. And remember that there's nothing about, there should be no ever a time during Kickstart where you feel mad at yourself or sad at yourself, because remember, we're here about support. We're not perfect. The only thing you have to do every day, what did I tell you guys at the beginning? What's the only thing you have to do every day? Is submit your tracker and click the first checkbox.
That's it.
That's it. That's the only thing you have to do.
Technically, you have to put your name in, your email address. There's a few steps to do.
If it's autofill, it should autofill itself.
But you still got to do that.
Autofill.
But it is only the one check mark.
That's all we're asking you to do. So if you're doing that and you still feel sad about yourself or mad about something you didn't complete, or if you're feeling down because you're feeling like why can't I do this? It's okay. We don't have all our commitments. We don't. We're being honest. I've not been able to get all mine. See my exes on there? I have not gotten all mine. Jean-Luc hasn't either. But do we get mad at ourselves? No, we're still tracking. We're still trying something every day. And I think that's what we want to share with you guys. Keep trying every day. And even though you're snacking, if you have a snack and you have one and you feel bad, it's okay to feel bad, but move on.
I also love what Barb mentioned in the chat, actually, about writing things down, like just going ahead and writing. I know, I saw that too. I saw, yeah, we didn't realize we were wearing each other's hoodies today. We just put them on. We sometimes,
we don't check when we're in the house.
We don't sometimes check. But I love the idea of writing it down, because that's another way to be accountable. It's writing it down is equivalent to saying it out loud almost, I want to say, because you're taking it out from here and putting it out in the real universe. Because right in here in our heads is where we make things up, right? We create stories in our heads. Because I'll be honest, how many of us have done this before? Eat something, eat it, feel guilty about it, walk away and go, well, it didn't happen. I didn't do that. I don't have
hide it.
If I didn't write it, it didn't happen.
I'll put it under all the boxes in the recycle bin.
But we also want to be honest. Snacking is going to happen, and it's okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some good snacks now. Let's talk about what we can do to be prepared for snacking.
So now that we talked to you guys about, why we think snacking is something you should possibly, if you are a night snacker and it's something you've done your entire life and you have a hard time getting rid of it, here's what we're suggesting as snacks to replace instead of the usual snacks you're having. So think of ways outside the box to have these things ready for you. So first thing, air pop popcorn. Jean-Luc and I have a bin, and back in the day, we don't do as much because now we have a new air popper that works really well. But back in the day when we had the WW air popper in the microwave, we would pop it a whole bin and it'd be ready as part of our prep every week. Now we have an air popper.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
So now we actually have an air popper because we were having issues with the microwave popcorn. It just wasn't popping, and I hated having all the kernels for some reason. So we found this air popper, which we did a TikTok on from, what's it called again, hun?
West Bend.
West Bend. We have actually a few of their products, and we love this one.
And an air popper.
It's kind of cool because the cats love it too. They get to watch it pop in the popper.
So what you do in this is you put your kernels and a bit of oil.
I put a teeny bit of oil, very little.
Spins.
You can actually use spray oil as well.
And it pops your popcorn, and there's no kernels that don't pop. It pops every single kernel, and it turns into a bowl after. So it's all, so we use this because now instead of the air popper, this works every single time we have it and it's already ready. We just plug it in, put the kernels, and it's instant.
Yeah.
So this is how we have our popcorn always ready for us.
But also using microwave popcorn is also an option as well if you prefer microwave popcorn. Again, why? Because it's a small portion, it's a small bag. You're not having this huge bag of popcorn. Because when you're buying the popcorn at the store, what are you buying? You're not buying the tiny little bag, you're buying the family size bag, right? And I know we want to reduce, reuse, recycle. I'm a huge supporter of that. But sometimes if you're not able, if you're someone who says, I can't get a bag and divide it into small pieces, small portion size bags myself, buying them pre-portioned is a great option, right? Until you start learning how to maybe control yourself by portioning yourself, right? So another idea, banana and peanut butter. That's a great snack. It's really high in potassium and in protein with the peanut butter or the nut butter. So that'll fill you as well. And it's not like you're going to sit there and have the jar of peanut butter. You'll have a tablespoon of peanut butter and a banana.
You can also have Greek yogurt with berries. You can have veggies and hummus. I talked about that earlier. Cheese and whole grain crackers. You know, make yourself. Jean-Luc has recipes on the dashboard for making your own tortillas. You know, your own nachos. You can actually buy pitas, cut them up yourself, and create your own pita chips. You know, again, controlling what's in your food because you don't want to have all the oils or all the add-ons. So you can create your own. These are all different things you can do. You can also just have tea.
Oh, and yeah, definitely just tea or warm milk. If you're a warm milk drinker, that's a great other way to feel full. A lot of times it is thirst. Thirst will fill you. So using water again. So you can still snack and stay on track. Snacking is not something that needs to be completely excluded from your journey.
And you can snack intentionally without making it a snack accident. So that's my quote of the day. You can snack and you can snack smartly instead of making a snack accident, okay?
No, snack accidents happen.
But then that's what we're trying to teach you tonight. Let's try to avoid a snack accidents. Let's try to plan ahead. Make sure that if you want a snack, there's something there for you and that you're prepared for it so that you don't go back to that bag of chips. You don't go to the store because you want a craving. You don't walk next door to McDonald's to buy something. We all do it. We all reach a point of no return where we want that snack and we always revert back to our old habits. So we're trying to teach you now to maybe change that habit.
Reduce snack accidents and create snack excellence.
Snack-cellence.
Snack excellence.
Snack-cellence.
Snack-cellence. Okay. The
Snack-cellence. Snack-cellence.
Too many tongue twisters. So here's the truth. One snack doesn't ruin your day. What it does, okay, but what does? What will ruin your day?
Beating yourself
up over the snack. That will destroy your entire day. So don't beat yourself up over it. It's not worth it.
And I know there's disappointment there sometimes. I get it. You know, you're trying so hard and something happens and you fall off the wagon, you jump off the trail, you swim down the wrong lane. I don't know, something like, one of those expressions. You go down the wrong path and something happens.
You drink the lemon instead of the lemon.
No, like you go down the wrong path, and what ends up happening is most of us look back and chastise ourselves. And that's us being mad at ourselves never helps. Has being mad at yourself for doing something ever really benefited you in any way? Has berating yourself and calling yourself names ever made you feel amazing after you've done it? Nope. It never does. And that's why Jean-Luc and I live a lot in a world of positivity and always looking at the other side of the metal, even when it rains all the time. We still look at the other side of the metal.
We're trying.
We're trying.
The other side of the coin, metal, I don't know.
So we want you guys in chat right now, if you're watching now or later, if you're in the comments on YouTube, wherever you're at, to reflect on tonight's chat, about snacking. What's something that stood out for you? Is there something that you're going to try? Is there something that you want to share that you're doing right now that you think might benefit others in their snacking journey?
What is your snack tragedy? I was trying to I was trying to say snack strategy.
Strategy.
What is your strategy? That doesn't sound right. What is your snack strategy? What is something that's going to help you next time? I hate to say next time you're going to reach for a snack, but next time you do reach for that snack, what's the strategy behind it?
And what are you still struggling with your snacking? You know, that whole 6 questions we asked you earlier, you know, if you haven't done it yet, you're still, you know, not finished that, ask yourself these questions. This Kickstart journey is all about self-discovery. It's about realizing your habits and realizing what you're doing to possibly build that life that you can have for the rest of your life. So you doing introspection and asking yourself the hard questions and being honest with yourself, saying the truth of what you're actually doing to yourself, not anybody else, to yourself. It might allow you to break through some of those walls that you've been struggling with. It might help you realize some things.
And I think one thing is really good to think of, again, that whole idea that snack, just because you have cravings, doesn't make you a failure. But what that signifies is that you're listening to yourself. You're listening to your body. You're becoming a better listener because you're like, okay, I want that. I really want a snack right now. But am I gonna get up to get the snack? Or if I do get up to get the snack, what is the choice I'm going to make? And am I going to be okay with that choice and live and accept the choice and move on from that choice?
So we hope this chat helped you guys, you know, kind of remove the dark shadows on snacking.
Snack is not a bad way.
We have been firm believers of snacking our entire journey. We got rid of it for a little while because of things that we were doing. And we decided now to, we realized that's who we are. I think one of the things is, everybody, is that no matter what's out there, whatever fad diet's going on, whatever, you know, things you're reading in the news, no matter what you read out there, of course, try it out. We're not saying, oh, don't try it. No, try it out. But if you try it out, you say, this isn't for me. Because everybody else is doing it, it's okay that you don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. No one's here telling you that you got to do what everybody else is doing.
Nope.
Find your formula. Find your life formula that's going to allow you to be happy, be with your family, your friends, have good health,
have good snacks,
because it's part of life. You want to have snacks,
have healthy mindset.
Yeah,
like that's all that really matters.
That's all that matters.
That is the most important part, is having that healthy mindset and applying that mindset to every aspect of your journey.
Yeah.
So positivity about your body, positivity about the food you eat, positivity about the people you interact with, positivity about the things you do every day.
I went on a 5K walk, a hike this weekend. Actually, I ended up walking longer. Me and Lynn went the long way, apparently, and we walked longer than most people on that trail. We all did 6 kilometers, and it was hills, people. It's not a ski resort.
Yeah.
So there was hills.
It was crazy.
And you know what? Me and Lynn killed it.
Yeah, they did great.
She was keeping up with me.
It was amazing.
And we were like killing it, and we did well.
And so was Carrie. Carrie was, she was way above.
Yeah, she was like, bye, Carrie. And she's like a speed walker, so she was gone.
Very well, a good hiker.
Lynn and I were like, we'd walk and like, oh, we're gonna wait a bit. And at one point, we got left behind a bit. We waited for 20 minutes, and no one was walking our way, so we just waited for no reason. And then that's why we were last getting to the end, because we were waiting for them, but they took a shortcut. So yeah, and so Lynn and I were just standing there going, do in the forest, la 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 la. Some bikers came by asking us for directions. We became the scarecrows, basically, of the forest, just standing there.
Why are you guys that scary?
No, we were standing at a crossroads, and people kept walking by us asking for directions. We're like, we don't know. we don't know where we're here. We're just walking the trail like everybody else, but they kept asking us.
So funny. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed tonight's chat about snacking.
Yeah.
We are going to head off as far as the live portion goes. Oh no, we have a few announcements.
Just a few announcements. So upcoming events. So we just finished the Pink Ribbon Walk, but our next event is on June 7th. We're doing the 5K Shoppers Drug Mart Run for Women 5K walk in Toronto on June 7th at 8 a.m. And then we're going to do a lunch nearby afterwards. There's a lot of you already signed up, but if you're interested in joining us for this walk, and help, support women's health.
And if you can't make it live, you can also still register and do it from home.
Or you can also do it from other cities. Yeah. So if you're from other cities, there's also other locations. And also, if you can't walk, but want to make a donation, you can as well.
Definitely.
So, another event we're doing is in Windsor. We are doing a pedal and pour tour on July 12th. And we have, I think, 3 or 4 spots available left. Event for that is information that's in chat as well.
Yeah. And it's the 3 p.m. We're going at 3 p.m. on that day. That's what we're planning.
Yes. And then we are doing also Toronto Harbourfront brunch cruise on July 19th, which was posted today as well. And we are also doing a St. Jacobs visit on July 26th. So if you're interested in coming to see us in St. Jacobs on July 26th, we're doing that as well, followed by lunch. And on June 1st, you'll see the first announcement about the Iceland cruise in 2026. So if any of you are interested in going to Iceland next in 2026 and come on a cruise with us, the information will be released on June 1st, and the link will be shared on the Kickstart group and all our socials. We're really excited for it. It's literally a full cruise around Iceland, and one of the excursions that's included in the price is a visit to the Blue Lagoon, which I really want to go because blue and misty. So we are definitely excited for that. So look for more information on June 1st about that. And we're not done. We're going to be doing more events. So look out for us across Ontario. We're going to Ottawa in August. So we might be doing something in Ottawa as well. So we'll keep you guys.
We're going to be at Pride in Toronto this year. Yes. So we'll be downtown for Toronto Pride.
So we'll see you all around.
We'll see you there, Heidi.
We're staying in the Ontario area this summer. So we're going to be visiting a lot of places around here. So trying to do some events locally and some fun stuff in our own province. So on that note, we will end the live feed. Thank you for joining us. And remember, Thursday night, there is no live feed. So if you are a part of Kickstart,
Thursday night.
And if you're watching right now and you're a part of Kickstart, on Thursday, there is no live feed. You have to join the Zoom because we will not be recording this session because it'll be a closed chat for group members and Kickstart members to share freely without, fearing that their things are being recorded. I get it, people. I sometimes say something, I shouldn't have said that online.
Basically every other word.
Hey. On that note, thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning. And if not, we'll see you on Tuesday.
Look at that. I found